Welcome back to another Wine and Wine Real Estate Uncorked. As you can see, for those of you that are watching, we are in a different space. We're also actually drinking wine today with Wine and Wine Real Estate Uncorked.
Why are you drinking wine today?
Well, I just moved. I'm throwing a 16th birthday party. My kids, half of them haven't started school yet. Tomorrow, thank God. So we're in it.
That just leads us right into what we're going to do today.
Yeah, so we thought we're always doing market trends and talking about real estate. We have quite a few followers that are new on here. And then also, we had some feedback that some of our clients and friends would like to know a little bit more about how we got into the business and some fun questions. So I have no idea the questions that he's prepared. He has no idea the questions I've prepared. So we're just going to roll with it and talk a little bit about us. So I hope you guys enjoy.
One of the things that we'd love to hear is when we're all said and done with today's podcast is if you had questions for us about things you'd like to know about us, send them in to us because we'd love to be able to answer those someday too.
Absolutely. All right. So let's go into, let's start with you since you've been in the business the longest. Mm-hmm. So how long have you been in the business?
I am in my 34th year.
Holy Toledo. And how did you get started in real estate?
It's an interesting story that takes way too long to talk about on this podcast, but simply I was working in another job. I was actually bartending, and one of my regular clients was a real estate and mortgage broker. And he said to me one day, you're in the wrong business. And I was like, yeah, no crap.
Yeah.
And he told me that if I went and got my license, he would teach me how to sell real estate and how to attract clients. And that was the start of something big for us. I mean, once I got into it, I should have been there before I was in our previous career. It's the best thing ever.
I agree. And I think that to flip it on me, I just didn't have an option not to be. Well, for me, I think that I tried to do or had an intention of doing other things, but seeing the opportunity that it gave to our family when we were struggling in high school and the intensity and the work that you did and knowing that I also had that built within me, and the ability to serve people, which is one of my, things that we all know that I absolutely thrive on and love. And biggest piece of my life is serving others. I think it just fully unwrapped everything.
Yeah, I would agree with that. You didn't have a choice.
No, I did not.
What was your punishment?
Oh God. So when I got grounded, when I got grounded, I would have to make Mike Ferry script calls to your just listed or just sold around the neighborhood. So, hi, we just listed 123 Banana Street. Yeah. Who do you know that's looking to move into your neighborhood?
When do you plan on moving?
Yeah, exactly.
Yes. Those scripts still work to this day.
Yeah, he's still a huge guy in the script world. So absolutely. Those will forever be ingrained in my head, for sure.
And how often do you do those now?
Not enough.
Yeah, that's the answer.
Yeah.
Not often. Neither of us do it now. But, it's because we have such a great client database and, we get referrals from all of our great clients and, we're very appreciative of that. So it makes it easier for us. But people getting into this business need to understand what it takes to be successful. Right. And that's what it takes is making those calls.
Yeah. No, that's a good point.
Yeah.
I know that there are a lot of people that, ask about how you got into this business, the things that it takes to do things successfully in this business. And there's a million different ways to become successful.
Sure.
But it's not just loving your HGTV. I love to go tour homes.
Yeah.
Unfortunately, it's a bigger piece than that. So
I'm going to ask you the next question.
Oh boy.
And you kind of talked about it a little bit, but what is your absolute favorite thing about working in real estate?
The ability to serve others.
Yeah. And then the follow-up question to that is, what's the worst thing?
Putting out real estate signs. I feel like I either almost get hit. I'm like Chris Farley barreling out in the heat and my hair's pasted to the side, or there's something, I'm sweating, my dress, you're trying to be dressed up, or there's people catcalling or something. Yeah. So that is by far. Also, there's a safety issue, I think, with anyone in real estate that does open houses alone, that you can attract different things by putting the signs out.
Yep.
And I've had a couple circumstances of those that were really scary. And so those things are my absolute, anytime I feel scary, and I have other stories, I'm sure you're going to ask me another question. I'm going to save it. But anything that I don't like the safety piece of the business because it can be scary.
Yeah, and not to be sexist, but especially as a woman, and we actually provide safety for Nicolette and anyone else that's helping us, so that they can protect themselves if necessary. So
yeah,
your turn.
So one of the questions, obviously I used AI to do a couple of these. I know, but
ChatGPT is a secret.
I believe in a personal world, and I will never, ever, ever lose sight of that and what's important and keep building upon those relationships. But there are things that can be helped in AI, which we do use. And so it did write some pretty cool questions. Cool. So it was asking what inspired us to be a father-daughter team. And
are you asking me that?
Yeah, I'm asking. So what inspired you to want to work with me, or did you want to work with me?
If you remember Nicolette's answer to how she got into real estate, I didn't have a choice.
Yeah, but I came back and you could have said no.
No, actually, I was very, very excited about having my daughter work with me from when she was 15 on. And actually when she started helping me with database work and everything else before she started making those calls for punishment. But it was inspiring to me to be able to share what I had learned and to help Nicolette be successful in her own right, and to work side by side. Now, it's not the easiest sometimes. She may be the first to admit that she's really hard to work with.
Okay.
It's not me, it's you. But it was just inspiring for me, and I still get excited every day that with the opportunity for us to work together and share ideas, and as I start moving towards the end of my career, to watch her blossom into the leader that she is not just in our team but in our industry as well. She's giving classes and everything else, and it's inspiring to me, and it's very satisfactory. So I just loved it.
Oh, well, thanks.
Yeah, no crying.
Oh, I don't.
There is no crying in real estate. There's lots of crying in real estate. Tons. Are you kidding me?
There's tons. We take way too much personal. That's just because we care, though.
Yeah, there's no doubt. So maybe we should talk a little bit about funny stories, things that have happened in some of those open houses or showings.
I think one of the worst stories is when you sent me on an internet lead to the Santa Cruz Mountains. That was horrible.
Yes.
So my dad calls and says, I have an internet lead that wants to see this property. It was not one of our listings. And I drove up there. It was raining that day. And I have a Ford Explorer that does not have all-wheel drive or four-wheel drive or any of it. So getting up there, going up this hill, it's at the top of this grade. And I'm about halfway up and my tires are starting to slip. On the left, there's this canyon that I'm going to slide down. So I'm like, I don't know who this buyer is. I'm in the middle of nowhere. I pass this crazy trailer park coming in here that's probably a meth lab. And pit bulls were guarding it. So there's potential for crazy. I love pit bulls, but they look scary ones. And there was just one opportunity to turn around. So I turned around, my tires get stuck in the mud. I start crying because if I walk down the hill, I'm going to have to go to that trailer park and there's no cell phone reception. I'm like, holy crap, what do I do? So I'm like, okay, I'm really smart. I can handle this. I can do hard things. And so I used the floorboard mats to shove them under the tires, and I got out of the mud, hauled the hell out of there, and then called my dad as soon as I could reach a point and was crying. And I asked, what the hell were you doing? Yeah. And he said, did you make a sale? Yeah. That's all he said. Did you make a sale?
So, and the answer was no. But the guy with the hook didn't show up.
My God. So that was probably my worst real estate story.
That's nightmares in real estate.
Yeah, totally. What's yours?
I don't have a lot of scary stories. I really don't.
Because you're the scary guy.
Mostly, because I'm as you may, if you're our clients, you may or may not know how direct I am with people. And I don't really have a lot of scary stories and showings or anything like that.
You never had like a naked guy in a shower or anything? I've had that.
No, nothing strange for me. I've been fortunate to not have anything that's ever put me to a point where I'm like, what am I doing in real estate? Other than, the phone calls when I first got started,
Oh, yeah. Kent, I think you got to share the bean story.
I'm happy
because the bean stories, everyone loves the bean story.
So you heard how I was a bartender, and a guy named Gail Christensen, who has since passed on, a great broker, told me that when I got started, he says, if you make 100 calls a day, you'll make more money than you know what to do with. So when I got started, I went and I bought a little Tupperware jar, and I put 100 pinto beans in my jar. And so I would sit down, I'd walk to my office. I lived very close to it. I'd walk to my office, and I would take a bean out of the jar every time I made a call. So 100 beans out. But then I said to myself, if 100's good, 200's better. I didn't leave until I put 100 back in. So every time I made a call back, I'd fill the jar back up. And I did that every day of the week for about 11 days. And on my 12th day, I had a person who said, yes, I want to sell my house. And that was at 201 White Sands Court. I will never forget it. It was $203,000.
I love it.
And Gail Christensen paid 90% on real estate commissions. And I walked home with a check for like $5,400, and I felt I was the biggest guy in the world with that check in my hand. So it was the 100 beans a day worked for me, and it was 200. And it's interesting because when I tell that story, I get emotional about it because it really meant a lot to me. For one, the opportunity that Gail gave me, and two, that I just fell right into something that it was a natural for me. In fact, Gail used to say to me, "Are you sure you haven't done this before?"
I know.
And I said, "No, this is where I should have been all the time, when we go back to talking about people who want to be successful nowadays, you got the internet, you got email, you got text, you got everything else. But I'm telling you, calls still work.
Yeah, they do. Yeah. They do. Door knocking still works.
Yeah.
Yeah, I was just talking to an agent in our office about how successful he has been this year from door knocking.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yep.
Door knocking stories are good too, though.
Oh gosh, we've had a lot of those. So I have a fun one.
Okay.
If you weren't selling real estate, what would you want to do?
I'd be a lawyer.
Yeah, I could see you doing that.
That's what I was originally, before I got into business. From high school, I was going to go to college to be a lawyer, but then I got into business instead.
I still think that you should study and take the bar. You're a smart guy. You don't have to go. You could take the bar.
I just don't want to work that hard now.
Yeah.
I don't want to have to go to school. I mean, I don't have a college education, so I have to get a college education, then a postgraduate,
No, you can take the bar without it.
Yeah, but you have to be a JD in order to be. I've looked at it because I've thought about it. I think I could pass the bar. I think I go take the bar tomorrow and pass it.
Let's try it.
Try it one time.
Put a bet out there. Let's put a bet out.
But I think that's what I would do too. Is I would have been a lawyer. What about you? What do you think you would have done?
Well, I was a criminal justice major in college. So, I was really close to getting hired by the sheriff's department.
That's right. I remember that.
Yeah. And then they went on a hiring freeze, and I was like, well, I don't think that today I'd be a very good sheriff. I'd be the girliest sheriff there was. Do they have pink outfits?
Well, you could have went on to the FBI.
Uniforms. They're not called outfits. They're called uniforms.
Uniforms, yes, outfits.
I still am super into criminal justice stuff, forensics and all the things. So probably somewhere in that.
So what about the social aspect of our business with our fellow agents? What do you like best about that?
Collaboration. Collaboration. I love to align with agents that work hard. There's some.
Yeah, and there's plenty that do, and especially ones that we deal with. I think there's a whole lot to be said for the relationships that you've made. Nicolette was in the title business for a long time, title and escrow business as a rep, one of the best ever. And she's developed so many relationships through that, so that when she came back after both her kids got into regular school, not daycare, and she decided to come back to work with me together, she had so many relationships that she had made. In fact, she probably knew more about real estate than the realtors you were helping.
Well, I think that was one of the huge reasons why I came back to real estate, is because on one aspect, in a negative way, I saw the disservice a lot of realtors were doing to provide to the consumer. And that really bothered me because I had a foundation and respect for real estate and the industry and the American dream, if you will, in a different way because I grew up with it.
Right. And what it took to be successful too.
Right. I mean, this is pretty much my first job. Right. So this is all I know, really. Mm-hmm. So there was a lack of respect for the industry and to the consumer that I kept seeing on a repeated basis. That was like, okay, I could stay in this and turn a blind eye, or I could jump back in and restart again financially and everything from the ground up, which is what I've had to do and continue to do. But with a love and compassion and a focus of serving the community. Yeah. And so, which is different than most. Mm-hmm. I think that there are a large percentage of realtors that have that same compassion and empathy and commitment to protecting people, but there's a lot that don't as well.
Yeah. And you've come a long way with it too. It's just a great thing. Now I tell people all the time, when Nicolette came back, it used to be, oh, Nicolette's your daughter. Now it's, oh, Quincy's your dad. It's all changed now. She's in charge now. Out there, so.
I don't know about that.
Yeah.
So do you have any other burning questions you think that people might want to know?
So many have come up for me that I was looking at the list of the ones that I printed out from my thoughts of stuff, and a lot of it had to do with balancing your life. I mean, people don't understand, or maybe they know you show a lot of stuff yourself on social media with what's going on in your life, but you have 2 children in sports, 2 children in school, a husband, a job, 3 dogs, a cat. And I always ask myself, I don't know how you balance it. How do you do it?
And I serve on about 1 million committees.
Yeah. And I also, Thursdays, Salvation Army.
Serve with Salvation Army. I also serve in St. James Park on Thursdays with, not on every Thursday, but one of the things that I would love to do, and at some point I will be able to do, is to volunteer more. It truly is a passion project of mine, and it helps me thrive in every other area of my life. When I go out and serve, it helps me pour into everyone else more than I ever could before. Yeah. So it's really something that is important for me to do. The balance piece, there's no such thing. Anyone says that their balance is full of baloney or I need to meet them. It's, I'm tired and I don't probably take care of myself enough because I pour into everyone else. But at some point I will. I'm going to be the hottest damn yoga instructor in the world once these kids are in college. Yeah. No, I'm just kidding.
Well, I'm always amazed. I'm amazed at how you not only take care of your family and you guys do so much stuff. I mean, you go to the boardwalk, you go to Disneyland, you fit it all in. I just always amazed and still get all your work done. It just amazes me.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Thanks.
You're welcome.
And you do a lot too.
No, I don't.
Yeah, you do.
No, I play golf.
No, you don't. You do a lot for our clients.
Yeah.
And that's why our clients love us. And that's why we're such a good team.
Yeah, I agree.
And that's why it was fun, I think, to tap into an off-topic event like this and give everyone a little bit of funny and show them a little another side. Because, we get to be when we're with our clients, we do show funny, but we're intense. We have intention with what we do. Our job as a buyer is to protect and get you the least amount for a property and utilize our relationships in the business in order to fulfill those real estate goals. And this, on the flip side for the seller,
I think our intensity shows up, and it's nice to share a little bit more than just how hard we work for our clients, and and how grateful we are for our clients too.
Oh God, we're so grateful, and I think we push that every single day. How much we appreciate not only each other but our clients and our friends and family too. Yeah. So
and we have Jen in our team too.
Oh gosh, she's the best.
She has to put up with both of us.
Everyone loves her.
So it's important to bring her into the conversation too.
Absolutely. So I hope you enjoyed a little bit jumping into our world today. I know several people had suggested we do a get to know us since we have a bunch of new followers. So it's nice to meet you a little bit little bit. If you have any additional questions, things you'd like us to discuss, we have a bunch of different topics coming up for our new podcast coming up next month. But if there is something burning that you want us to share or talk about within the current market, there's a lot of things swirling around right now.
Absolutely.
Lots of topics. So
watch those interest rates.
Yeah, watch those interest rates. If you're waiting, don't do it.
I'd say, just one quick thing. I was just talking with one of our favorite lenders who asked me that same question just yesterday and said, what happens if interest rates don't go down with the Fed? And it's possible. And he's going to publish something next week that we'll share with you. And I told him I would still counsel my clients, if you can afford to buy today, you buy.
Yeah.
Don't worry about that.
Exactly.
So, anyway, that's a little piece of business.
Yeah.
So we're not all business, but that's some business.
Absolutely. Well, thanks again for joining us for another Wine and Wine Real Estate Uncorked. It's been a pleasure bringing you guys some insight to our world. Thank you so much for your support in business. If you have any questions, we're always here to help. So thanks so much. Have a great day.
Bye.